Alright. I don't know what the fuck to say. I know what you're thinking. Oh no, this motherfucker's back again. I was hoping that they were dead. Me too. Hear me out though. Don't hear me out. I don't have a plan for today. I just realized, oh, I haven't done this in over a month. Because the last time I did this, I was with a person that sucked a lot. And things didn't work out. And yeah, I've just kind of been taking some time, hanging out with people. I spent Christmas with family and friends. It was pretty good. Pretty good. I've been working on some Warhammer stuff, actually, like painting miniatures and that kind of thing. So that's where all my time's been going. And I keep saying, oh, I'll sit down and I'll do one of these again. Just put some time into something, talk to myself for a little while, or talk to you. And nobody's watching this shit. Talk to myself, video journal, that type of thing. And we're in the plane world again. Because a couple separate times I've hung out here with friends, and I've just came here to cool off, I enjoy the feeling of being in one of these and flying around and that kind of thing. You can and this is pretty fun to me. Just flying, that kind of thing. Physics go crazy on here, though. That's funny to look at. I never knew how bad it was, because I'm never looking at myself in here, you know what I mean? I'm looking at the outside. But yeah, I'm looking at the outside. I'm looking out and around here. I'm looking at these other areas. Not looking at myself. The shame about this world is optimization issues and all that. The plane looks at some points like it turns to liquid because of either how fast you're going or how far away from the spawn point you are, right? So that gets to be a bit much at times. But other than that, it's a nice place to go to cool off, clear your head. So here's where I go. We might world hop in this. I don't really know how long I want to sit here and talk. I don't know what to talk about. You know what I mean? I had ideas, and then I didn't write them down, so now they're just gone to the void. I don't know if any of y'all ever tried to do this before, but it's honestly pretty hard to gather your thoughts before you sit down and talk for the next, I don't know. Let me think of something. Fortnite. Fuck's sake. I've been playing a lot of Fortnite with some of my buds because they randomly just made me get back into it, and I was like, oh, okay, this could be fun. And I've played Fortnite before, obviously. Who hasn't? If you haven't, you're living under a rock or something, or you're older than 50. I think everybody's at least seen Fortnite, so I think we can all acknowledge that it's one of the... I don't know. It's... You're either in one group or the other. You're in a group of people that completely hate it, or you're in a group that, will find it fun sometimes. I don't think there's anybody who plays the game like non-stop that like enjoys playing the game non-stop. So I think those kind of people fall into the hate group, right? But yeah, I've been playing it a bit. It's something. My apologies if you hear me sniffling. I am not exactly at peak health, and I just got done with like 4 hours of work. It's not like hard work, you know what I mean? It's just I work at a local like food place, right? So I'm constantly like dealing with customers and stocking things, cleaning up areas. It's something. It's work, right? Work is good. But yeah, Fortnite. It's something. I want to see them. I don't know. Maybe like add some more. Like, okay. Hear me out. I like Dragon Ball. I want more Dragon Ball skins. As I'm recording this, they just brought back out a bunch of them, and I have like no money to spend on them, which is unfortunate, right? But like it is what it is. One that I was really excited for is they brought back Trunks. I play Fortnite for a meme, right? Like I don't play it like seriously, and I don't really care about how all like, the skins look and all that. I play it for a massive meme. One of my friends recently, I don't know if we're still friends, but one of them recently gifted me some. I hate that they did this. They brought out like shoes, like kicks in Fortnite. So there's like Jordans and shit now. Like, what? For what purpose? Money, I guess? Anyways, my friend, right? I mentioned this a few times. I wanted Goku Black to be wearing J's. So, recently, a couple days ago, they came out with like these pink Jordans. And my friend ended up gifting them to me. I'm out of fuel. That's why we were slowing down. Anyways, yeah, he ended up gifting them to me, right? And yeah, this thing's gonna stall. I'm gonna crash. I'm just gonna respawn. I ended up there's the plane over there, if you can see that. But yeah, I ended up wearing those, and I wore pink Jordans on my Goku Black skin. It's a meme. You know it is. But I wanted, Trunks for the drink shit that was going around. I just think it would be really funny. Also, it's like the good outfit of Trunks, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to call it purple. It's not purple, but like the jacket that he wears in Z, peak, right? Like, what else? What else can I talk? Ooh, Warframe. Got back into Warframe with the same group of friends that I'm like hanging out with, right? We do Fortnite, we did Warframe. They convinced me to try Marvel Rivals, so I did that for a few hours, like yesterday. I'm filming on the 9th, so that was the 8th yesterday, Wednesday. I keep saying when I'm filming, because I don't know when this is going to go up. I don't know if I want to... I never edit these, which is funny. I use this more like a podcast, but it's like all completely unedited. It's more like a stream that I don't want to stream, right? Streaming's hard. Even this isn't the easiest thing to do because I'm running this on a quest, right? Like, this is a quest 3. It's not exactly the easiest thing to like grab this footage. It's not the easiest thing to set up a stream. It's not the easiest thing to do anything. It's also not as complicated as some PC VR things. So we'll give that to them. But yeah, it's something. What's I gonna say? Oh right, Warframe. Warframe? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Okay, so for context, right? I've played Warframe since when was it? I think it was like 2017? No. Wait, maybe. I would have been 11. No, so maybe 2018, 2019, right? I've been playing Warframe since then. I got about 1,000 hours in it. I know, not much. I got about 1,000 hours. So I like to think that I can give my seance. If for all of you Warframe nerds, I think I'm like mastery rank 19. So it's not like I haven't played the game. It's not like I don't know what I'm talking about when I say some of these things. But oh my god, what are they doing with the story, man? Like actually. Like, for example, when I'm filming this, 1999, like Warframe 1999, dropped pretty recently. What the fuck is that? What is the point of it all? What is the point of anything? I started like getting confused back when the Drifter came out and Duviri Paradox came out, which it's in the name, Paradox, right? It's going to be fucking confusing, and it doesn't make any sense. So they've brought out paradoxes and like alternate timelines and alternate everythings, and they're trying to implement it to a point where you can play some of this stuff as a different way to start the game. And okay, Drifter, Duviri Paradox, it's almost completely separate from Warframe as a whole. You almost never control the Warframe, right? Like it's just a completely like new system, new mechanics, new everything, right? It was an update, it was an add-on to what they've already done, and for some reason, they're making it to a point where you can pick, oh, Duviri or main story, and it's like, what are you talking about? You've been working on this main story for God knows how long, right? And like, at least since I've been there, they've already had a bunch of story worked on. They've had they took like years and years and years to bring out the new war, right? And like the quests that went along with that. God damn. I'm not like sick. I'm just allergies. But yeah. Warframe. What the fuck? It's very paradox. Like, I've seen some of the things like, oh yeah, pick the paradox or pick being a Warframe. This is what I would expect of you. Yeah, that's what you should require of people, bro. Like, the paradox shit doesn't prepare them for the rest of the game. And if they end up liking Duviri and that kind of gameplay loop, then they don't have anything else like that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta like keep in mind that the start of a game should set people up for the rest of the game. You know, like, you can't just throw them in because you're like, oh, it would be cool if we did this. Well, no. Like, if you want to do something like that, I feel like they should make a different game or like do something else, you know? And ever since Drifter and Duviri Paradox, it just has felt like they're making weirder and weirder contributions to the main story. It almost feels like they're not contributing to the main story anymore. And it's like... Sorry, trying to focus to land this. Because we are out of fuel. I forgot where the fuel gauge was. Yeah, no, we're cooked. Yep. I tried. Wasn't the worst thing. These physics go crazy in this world. All I'm fucking saying. It's kind of annoying because it like gets all in your face and shit. Especially with the camera, which I don't know how to angle any other way. And I just have this set up so that you guys can like look at me and I can talk to something, right? I'm talking to myself because I have problems. But yeah, Warframe. What the fuck? It just like annoys me so much when my friend has to go watch a lore video and then has to decipher the lore based on the lore video. Like, why the fuck can't we just make a game where the lore is laid out for you in an understandable fashion? Like, because Warframe will just do shit, right? Like, there's a point in the new story missions where it basically puts you in an alternate dimension to the alternate dimension that you were already in. And then it, like, lays out everything for you, and then there's, like, a demon, right? And they're talking about it and calling it the Indifference, right? And it's just, like, this entity that's, like, messing with your character. And it's like, what the fuck? You've never talked about this shit before. Hello? Why are you just expecting us to understand this? And then they'll just go again and again and again. And it's just been nonstop, like, lazy storytelling, to be very real with you. Like, look, I'm not gonna say that Warframe story is all bad. I enjoyed all of the main story. I enjoyed the lead up to New War. I enjoyed all of that. But everything, like, after New War and after Duviri has just been like, what the fuck? And not to mention, New War had its very glaring flaws, including the Drifter as a fucking entity. He just kind of shows up, and afterwards, right, like, there's literally a conversation in the story, in a cutscene, where the character's like, wait, so you're me from the future? And then bro's like, no, that would be too simple. I'm actually you from an alternate dimension in the future. Like, what? Huh? Why does that need to be a thing? It just doesn't make any sense, and it's, like, upsetting. And then Duviri was supposed to be, like, that, like, oh, alternate dimension, future story, right? Like, it was supposed to be the backstory of the guy. Nope, it's actually a children's book told from, like, a kid with mental disabilities point of view. Like, huh? Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool ideas that they have here. It's just, like, where does it all tie in? And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And it's, like, dragging me away from the game, to be very real with you. I just can't find myself enjoying story like that because it doesn't make any sense. Look, game is still fun, though, and I'm still probably going to keep playing it. It's a lot of fun to just be, like, all-powerful entity cutting through hordes and hordes of enemies. Kind of why I like Space Marine 2. I stopped playing that recently, not for any reason other than the fact that I got bored. It's just a matter of putting hours and hours and hours into that game. And I put, like, 2 or 3 weeks straight into it, like, day in, day out. Other than hopping on here to say hi to people, right? And it's just like, I don't know. I like Warhammer still. I don't really have any big complaints about that one. Oh my god, For Honor, right? Like everybody's seen the fucking random For Honor edits that they'll throw at you. For Honor, crazy work. I hate that. I hate a lot of things. Okay, Ubisoft. My Ubisoft account was hooked up to my old school email. I don't know why I did that, and I'll never know because my memory is bad. But check this out. You can't change the email on your Ubisoft account without having access to the email. So I had to make a whole new Ubisoft account, and I'm praying to God that my progress in that game is not just gone, right? Because I've put hundreds of thousands of hours into For Honor because I like the combat system. And now, like, that all might be gone. I can't tell because there's no cross save. So the point, like, I did all of this because I was trying to access my account and my progress on my computer. Right. And the game won't let you. Because there's no cross save, there's no cross progression, no nothing. It just gives you a new account depending on where you're logging in from. And I couldn't use... Yeah, it was just weird. I didn't like it, and it really fucking pissed me off. Like, we're in an era now where cross save and cross play is like mandatory, and we still have games that aren't getting it at release. For instance, Sparking Zero. Everybody was hyped for it. Everybody loves it still. Like, we don't have a bunch of issues with it, right? Oh my fucking god. Crossplay, cross save. That is like standard. That is like bare minimum type shit. Like, and they didn't include it. They didn't feel the need to because they knew we would still pay full price for it, right? Like, nobody's not going to buy Sparking Zero because it doesn't have crossplay. You're still going to buy it and play it if you were interested in it because it looks good, right? But oh my fucking god, it's like, why can't you just give us the ability to play with people and play on different, like, consoles and shit? Like, dude, if you give me cross save, I will probably end up buying a copy for myself because right now I'm just playing with one of my friends' game shared copies to me, right? Because he wanted someone to play with, and I wanted to play the game, so he game shared it to me. But now I can't, like, I'll have to buy a PC copy when I have money to play with people on PC, and it's ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, Dying Light 2 is probably closing in on its end. Right? Because they're working on a completely new Dying Light game. Like, they're working on a Kyle Crane game, and I don't think they had any plans to make any more DLC for Dying Light 2, which is wild to me considering it didn't come out that long ago. It's been maybe 4 or 5 years now, if even, right? Like, it's just crazy to me. Not to mention, aren't we getting a new fucking Elden Ring game? Which, that looks like garbage, by the way. Like, I'm gonna trust their vision, but it looks like it's gonna be so not fun. Ugh. Just new games in general are concerning me. Speaking of new games, Marvel Rivals was pretty fucking fun. Normally I hate, like, Overwatch clones and all of this, like, oh, hero shooter, do objective, do this, blah blah blah. You can only have one of each character in your squad type shit, right? I don't like that. I don't like those kinds of games. It's one of my issues with Space Marine 2, actually, that we can't have multiple of the same class in a squad. Because then, like, you will matchmake us, right? We'll go into matchmaking wearing a specific class, and you'll match us with people who are also wearing that class. And then we either won't be able to start the mission, or you'll drop us into the mission and then force us to pick a new character. Like, okay, whatever, fuck you. Now, the rivals thing, this is the first instance where I don't have that issue. I don't have people taking the character that I want to play a lot because there's such a wide array of characters that it's very rare you'll stumble across somebody who wants to use the character that you wanted to choose, right? And sure, it does happen because there's also some bugs where my loading times are completely messed up because it wants me to install my files in a different location apparently, and I didn't know any of that before installing it, so I have to move those over probably later today while I'm trying to get the footage from this thing to my phone, because that's how I do these kinds of things. I just transfer the footage from one location to another and then upload it, and I throw whatever screenshot I took into a photo editor. Look, I'm kind of lazy, but it works, right? And people aren't gonna see these, and if you do, I am sorry. Why are you still here? You could have done so much better things with your time instead of just listening to me yap about random shit. And also sniffle, because yeah. But yeah, if anybody sees this, why, first off, and second off, thanks, I guess. I don't think these are gonna blow up. That's not the purpose of them. The purpose of them is to get me talking and just thinking on my own, right? Because I don't have a lot of time to just slow down and think for myself for a little while. That's a lie. I have tons of time to think to myself, but talking out loud kind of sets some of these thoughts into reality, you know what I mean? The term speak it into reality comes to mind. But what else was I gonna say? Let me think of another topic. Webtoons. I read a lot of webtoons, right? And it's, I'm not gonna hide it, it's a mixed bag. There's some romance shit on there. There's some action stuff that I really like, and I end up just reading it because I like reading as a concept. I've been reading books, chapter books, full-on chapter books, since I was 5 or something. It was very, very young that I started out, and I started reading full books, and I would just sit in my grandma's living room with her, and I would just read to myself for hours on end. So I enjoy just sitting down and reading for hours. So occasionally I'll go on Webtoon and I'll be what's something new that I can read? What looks interesting? And I'll look at what's recommended for me, and I'll just pick one, and I'll sit down, and that'll be my day. It had been a while since I did that, but I did that recently. I did that 2 days ago, and I ended up reading for 6 or 7 hours straight, right? And just talking to nobody, and that gave me the biggest headache, but it was also the most enjoyable day that I've had for a while. So you can't really complain. I highly recommend that anybody who's brushing it off as oh yeah, Webtoons is weird, because yeah, it's fucking weird, but what are you gonna do about it, man? There's not much you can do about people wanting to put weird things into the world, because people just do that all the time. But trust me, if you're just brushing it off as oh, this is just romance, or oh, this is just weird deviant art type stuff, give it a look. Just give it a try. Give it a chance, because there are some really good action stories on there, and the people that make these draw things very, very well, very high quality. It's basically a way to read mangas that aren't mangas. If you like manga, you'll like this shit. If you like comics, you'll probably like them. It's, if you like just reading, if you like just stories in general, if you could sit down for a while and like watch something, like watch a show or something, you could probably just read these and you'd have an enjoyable experience too, right? It's it's just a nice thing to do. Like just sitting and reading something. It's different, right? Hmm. I'm just trying to think of something. My work schedule just came in while I was filming this. That's why I stopped talking for a bit. And I work both of the days that I would have went to go hang out with family. I was already going to cancel because I didn't want to spend time away from home, like right before my break is over. That just sounds exhausting to me. But yeah, I work both of those days now. We're good. Not that I need an excuse to say, like, I can't hang out or anything. But now I definitely can't hang out. I enjoy spending time with family, but I don't want to go like a whole state over for the last couple days of my break. Because I go back to school on, I think it was 22nd. Technically 21st, actually 22nd. Because I don't have any classes on the 21st. College is weird. Like, not having classes for multiple days out of the week on a regular basis is just confusing to me coming out of high school. I've been recording for like 30 minutes. I should probably end it somewhere. I don't remember what else I wanted to talk about. Bro, people suck. I just don't like people as a concept. Dating is horrible. I've been trying to find someone for quite some time. And whenever I think, oh yeah, this is the one, it'll always end up crashing and burning in a horrible hellfire. Not to mention, sometimes you find people and you're like, oh, I like this one. And then you either find out or you just kind of know that they're completely not interested. I spent like the last week and a half with this guy, right? And I thought, he's pretty cool. And throughout that, it was pretty clear to me that he didn't like have the same feelings, right? And it ended up coming to a point where after like a couple days of him starting to warm up to me, or at least I thought, right? He came in here. I was in this exact world actually because I was kind of upset and I was just flying around. And he came in here and then he started like venting to me and shit and like just trying to get some sympathy because of some stuff that happened with a person that he liked that he got ghosted by. So after like a while of me thinking, oh yeah, he'll warm up to me, and then he finally started opening up more and shit. And then it ends up just being, oh yeah, actually I need to vent to you about this person that I like and how they're making me sad and all this. I don't know, I just feel like I'm wasting my time with like anybody that I put time into when stuff like this happens. And when relationships don't work out because of the other person. Like, I'll admit, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But like at the same time, you can't put the blame on me for some of your awful decisions. It's exhausting. It's such a bad note to end it on. Life is exhausting. But I don't know what else to end it on. Huh. No clue. I'll probably try to make these more often. Maybe like once a week. Kind of want to talk about some Warhammer things and another one. Yeah, maybe once a week. That's a decent note to end on, right? I'll make these more for myself. And for anybody who actually wants to watch these. I don't know who would. I don't know why you would. But, you know, it's a hobby and it's out there, I guess. If you want to watch, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to force you away, but at the same time, why? If you're a friend of mine that sees this, I don't know. Pretty random. Pretty random note to end on. Have a good rest of your day. If you see this, you probably won't. Probably gone. I'll bet money on that one. Peace.